Alrighty guys, what is going up? I hope you guys are all having a great and an amazing day today. Now in today's episode, we're going to be looking at 3 billionaires and we're going to be reviewing their stock portfolio. We're going to use this video to kind of show you guys some of the top stocks that they have and kind of how you guys can implement them into your stock portfolio. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and overall, I hope you guys learned something. So now let's jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Roll the intro, let's go. Bam! So the very first person we're going to go ahead and look at is Bill Gates. Bill Gates is one of the wealthiest people in the world. He is the founder of Microsoft, and overall he has a lot of money. He has a nice solid portfolio that pays him a lot of money, whether it's from dividends, whether it's from just the overall asset going up in value. He makes a lot of money. So this is Bill Gates' largest stock that he owns. He owns Berkshire Hathaway B, which Berkshire Hathaway, they have two stocks. They have the A and the B. Bill Gates owns the B. I'm not sure exactly why he wanted to, go ahead and buy the B one. The B one is really designed for people who can't afford to buy the A one, because the A one is around $300,000 compared to the B one, which is around $200,000. So this makes up around 52% of Bill Gates' total portfolio, which is really cool to see that he believes in Warren Buffett, because that's Warren Buffett's company. He owns around 49 million shares of this company, so that's a lot of money. But the thing about this stock is it doesn't pay a dividend, so he's not getting that consistent cash flow. So the second stock that Bill Gates owns is Waste Management. This makes up around 10% of his total portfolio, and this is around 18 million shares. And Waste Management does pay a dividend, so he is getting cash flow with this stock, and overall that's actually a pretty good stock to have. So the third stock that Bill Gates owns is Caterpillar. I'm sure you guys have seen those big yellow excavators and stuff like that. That's Caterpillar. This makes up around 7% of his total portfolio, and he has around 11 million shares, which is pretty nice. So the fourth stock is Canadian National Railway. I'm not exactly sure what this company is, but he owns quite a bit of it. This makes up around 7% of his portfolio, and he has around 17 million shares of this stock. So the fifth and final stock that we're going to go ahead and talk about Bill Gates is Walmart. I'm sure you guys know Walmart. They do pay a dividend. The stock is very, very affordable for beginners, and not to mention he owns quite a bit of shares. He owns around 4 million shares, so he's getting a nice dividend every quarter. He's going to be getting the asset going up in value, but overall, I would rate Bill Gates' stock portfolio maybe around an A to a B+. The reason why is I think he put too much eggs in one basket, going with 52% of Berkshire Hathaway B, but it's kind of cool to see that he believes in Warren Buffett, so that's why it's kind of up there still. So the second billionaire that we're going to go ahead and talk about is Mark Cuban. I'm sure you guys have seen him on either TV, whether it's from Shark Tank, or if you guys are, basketball fans, you know Mark Cuban. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, the basketball team, and he has a lot of money. So Mark Cuban does have a nice little kind of stock portfolio. He's not really known for his stock portfolio. He's known through his other businesses. So the first stock that he owns is Twitter. He called this stock out when the stock market fell in March of this year, and he went ahead and said that he's going to be planning on buying that stock and a couple of other ones. The second stock that he bought during this whole market recession is called Live Nation Entertainment. I personally bought this stock as well. It does have this nice beautiful uptrend, and he went ahead and called this stock out, and honestly I kind of see where this stock could go in the future. So a couple other stocks that he owns, he's a big believer in Amazon. He owns like $1 billion in Amazon stock alone, and he owns a lot of Netflix stocks. He's been also known to own a lot of dividend paying stocks because he wants this cash flow. So really Mark Cuban's stock portfolio isn't as large as a lot of other ones, but honestly it's still pretty cool to see that he has a nice little kind of solid portfolio that does pay him a dividend, and a lot of these stocks are going to be continuing to go up in value. I would rate his around a B+, just because I do think there's still a lot of room to grow in the future. So the third and final billionaire that we're going to go ahead and talk about is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the best investors the world has ever seen. His average yield is around 17% per year, which is amazing for a lot of investors. But let's go ahead and look at the top 5 stocks that he owns. The very first one is Apple. He owns a ton of Apple. He owns around 215 million shares of Apple, which Apple's around $300, so you guys can do the math and realize how much money that's worth in market value. Not to mention he gets paid $790 million every year through dividends, which is free money. So the second stock that he owns is Bank of America. He has around 925 million shares of this stock. 925 million shares of this stock. It's absolutely insane, but overall he still gets a dividend. Look at this dividend. This dividend's a whopping $526 million every year just because he owns so many shares, and when they split and do the stuff they normally do, he just makes a lot of money from it. So the third stock that he owns is Coca-Cola. I'm sure you guys have known that he's the king of dividends, and he's a huge believer in Coca-Cola. He said himself he would never sell his shares of Coca-Cola. This is why, because he has around 400 million shares, which makes him around $624 million every single year. So the fourth stock that he owns is what you call American Express. They're the American Express cards. He has around 151 million shares of this stock, which pays him around $236 million every single year. So the fifth and final stock that he owns a lot of others, but we just wanted to do the top 5 because we could talk about hours about all Warren Buffett stocks. But the fifth one is Wells Fargo. He has around 442 million shares of this stock, which, guess what? They do pay a dividend. This dividend is around $760 million every single year. So this proves to you guys that dividends are key. Cash flow is key. And now let's go ahead and look at my stocks. So the very first stock that makes up a lot of my portfolio is VOO. This is Vanguard's S&P 500 index fund. Warren Buffett said himself he would highly recommend all Americans to go ahead and invest in the S&P 500 and to use low-cost index funds. So that's what I did. The second stock that I have is Apple, because I'm a huge believer in Apple. I have a Mac that I'm using to read off the script. I have an iPhone. I have AirPods. So I felt like I should go ahead and invest in that company, and I do have a couple of shares of that. The third stock that I own is Home Depot. The reason why I wanted to go ahead and pick Home Depot is because I do feel like this is a very, very large stock to have, and there's a lot of future for them. Not to mention they do pay a dividend of around $6 per year, which is awesome. And one of the famous traders, Ray Dalio, says this is one of the stocks that he's holding for 2020, and I feel like I should look in kind of their shoes, and I see some future for it. So the fourth stock that I own is Visa. Visa has a beautiful upward trend. They pay a dividend, so it's a no-brainer for me to get it. So the fifth stock that I have and that I believe in is Disney. I did buy this stock under $100, so I'm up quite a bit on it now, and I do think there's a huge future for Disney. Disney is the media powerhouse. They pay a dividend. Everything's great about this company. The only issue is right now all their parks are closed, so once they kind of re-announce their parks, I picture this stock going up in value more, even though I'm already in profit. So that is it though. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown. It was kind of fun to go ahead and look at all of these billionaire stocks, you know, their positions and how many shares they own. It's absolutely insane. Mark Cuban was definitely the hardest to kind of find information about, but I hope you guys enjoy it, and overall I hope you guys learned something. And if you guys did, make sure you guys smash the like button. You guys have no idea how much it's appreciated by me. So we'll see you guys tomorrow in another episode. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and overall have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. We'll see you later. Oh, and don't forget, go ahead and check out my podcast. We're going to be going ahead and doing our podcast like crazy for the next couple of weeks because I have some good episodes coming. We'll see you guys tomorrow in another one.